What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Wow. Never a dull moment in crypto. There's a lot that's happened between yesterday and today. Got a lot of news to go over for you. And on the show, we are going to give you one altcoin with not only 4x banger potential, but potentially one of those 10x phoenixes that Rob has discussed in previous episodes. We're going to go over one gem pick for you that's set to massively explode if it does break out. So stay tuned for that. Also, the news. Wow. Okay. So the timeline is just going crazy right now. Trump is mega bullish, as he always has been, as a lot of his net worth is tied to crypto. He's positive that, everything he's doing with the tariffs will make the economy great again, right? But we are seemingly in a life or death situation, as President Trump described it himself, because we're going to the Supreme Court to rule essentially whether Trump's tariffs are legal or not legal. And Trump describes that as a life or death situation, death being them made illegal because they're going to have to pay back a whole lot of money. I think it was somewhere in the trillions to many countries. I don't know. So I'll get those exact stats for you, but that's happening soon. So there's that. But on the other hand, Trump is saying that he's friends with the Chinese president, President Xi, as much as he can be anyway. He's saying all these bullish things. We're just still in the eye of the storm, you guys. But we're going to be here with you every single day, Monday through Friday, this week at least. We want to calm the fears. I know a lot of people aren't tuning in right now, and a lot of YouTubers aren't making videos. We are going to be here every single day. In fact, some of our entries have absolutely nailed it. Rob talked about ETH going down to $3,000. It hit it exactly on the nose. You'd be up about 15% almost if you did take that entry. Guys, there's other altcoin setups brewing. There is money to be made in this market right now as we speak. And if you're a holder, then I've got stats for you on not only bull run tops from previous cycles, but also what one whale describes as potential distribution at this point, because Bitcoin didn't have an IPO. So the whales, and I even received, an email this morning from a friend who works in a mega finance hedge fund, and he was also talking about, the distribution is happening from long-term holders, and they're looking to push it down. Maybe it could go down to 85K. There's a lot of chatter and a lot of swirl. I do think that is an interesting theory that, some of these people that are potentially billions in profits are redistributing their wealth, right, and their gains, and they're cashing some out of Bitcoin. That could be entirely possible. So I'm going to play you that clip. And that's really interesting. Tom Lee says that fundamentals, and he's the chairman of BitMine that's been buying billions worth of Ethereum. In fact, he's billions down on his money right now. If you're not down on your Ethereum buy, you're actually in a better position than some of these massive whales, right? So just think about that. So also, I have to take you to some of this news because I have to show you another thing that I thought was really interesting about Wall Street. There's just so much confluence for me in the data that shows that this is not a top, right? This is not a cycle top anyway, maybe a temporary top, but it doesn't seem to be a cycle top no matter which way we spin it. And at least in the fundamentals, if we hold that 50-week moving average at around 102,600 or something like that, we're in good shape, guys. There's a long week ahead. And as you can see, so many things happen so quickly here. So, I want to say, not only good afternoon and good night, but good morning, because we've got listeners from New Zealand, which is super cool. Mark, shout out to you. Brian, what's up, man? You actually sparked a whole debate here backstage about my nail color, because right now I've got blue nails. So I typically do kind of like to pair them with the market and stuff. I did a lot of bullish green. Right now they're blue, and blue is typically when I didn't even plan this, but I've had it in my magazine cover back there, in a lot of different moments in life that were really explosive and in the midst of big things happening. And I just now so happen to have them now. I'm getting my nails done on Friday, guys, just so you know. So whatever color I come out with, we'll see. And I'm going to discuss that with Rob when I bring him up here. Actually, I'm going to bring him up here now. Why not? What's up, Rob?
How you doing?
Good. We were just talking about, nail colors, and Rob then told me that if I come out with purple, then that means indecision. And I didn't even know what he was talking about. Does anybody know what he's talking about in the chat? I didn't know, but let's tell him.
All right. So I was like, are you going to be wearing purple nails? Because that's indecision or neutral. And that's why if you go watch the Federal Powell's Fed Chair Powell, you look at the color of his tie, he always wears the color of purple for neutral and balance. And That way he's not giving any market kind of signals on that one there. Then if you could really go deep diving into it, people will start there saying, like, if he wears a black tie, it means a black swan, or there's a whole like rumor, like echo chamber on people actually will pay attention to what color clothes Powell's wearing. Like that's
Oh.
pretty crazy on that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so a whole new thing. So if I come out with black, then just lights out, guys. If I come out with green, I don't know. Let's see. Friday for our
If you wear
crypto.
black 150x shorts
Yes, yeah,
all
yeah,
around.
exactly. So Friday, guys, for our crypto and cocktails stream, bring your favorite drink and you'll get to see what nail color I'm wearing. It's equivalent to the color tie and clothes that Jerome Powell has. So it's a really powerful aura and energy. Okay, I'm just saying. We'd like to have
I'm not
fun on
gonna
this
do my
show.
nails. I'm gonna keep them this color.
We like to have fun on the show, guys. So what color do you think I should get? How about you say that in the comments? What color do you think we are in the market? In fact, actually, I'm going to share my screen for a minute while you're up here, Rob, because we can discuss this together. But let's see. I want to show you guys a few things that are pretty amazing. Okay. So first off, I have to get rid of this video so I can share my screen with you. So first things first, Trump comes out with all this bullish news. We're making the US the Bitcoin superpower, the crypto capital of the world, right? All these bullish rhetorics that is like, yeah. Okay, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry. Let's get the screen up. That would be helpful. More technical difficulties. Let's see here. Move. I'm going to add it again. Now you can, right?
Yep.
All good. Okay, good. So, and then he's saying that actually crypto takes a lot of pressure off the dollar. There's a whole reason for why he gets into that. So we'll go over that in a minute. But he also called the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, a nincompoop. So it's we're shaking it up here in a presidential cabinet. New vocabulary is for sure. Massive news on Ripple, guys. How many of you have XRP bags in the audience? I definitely have been stacking some XRP. I mean, I just keep seeing these headlines everywhere, right? Ripple partners with MasterCard to introduce RLUSD, that's their stable coin, credit card settlements on the ledger. So also there's another piece of news here, which says that they raised 500 million at a $40 billion valuation. Wow. Okay. That's big. So we'll definitely go over XRP, if not this episode and in future episode when crypto starts to come back a little bit more. Senator Cynthia Lummis says crypto is the future and we need to make sure banks are embracing it. Lots of bullish rhetoric coming out, okay? And, you know, he's buddy with the Chinese president, President Xi, right? As much as he can be anyway. He keeps trying to like push this. So it's really interesting. And then, you know, this is what I want to show you, the Cobesiolator. Today's tariff ruling is much bigger than most people realize. If the Supreme Court strikes down Trump's tariffs, the U.S. Treasury will face a massive refund liability of $1 trillion. Yeah, somebody said that in the chat. That's crazy. $1 trillion is a lot of money. Because if the Supreme Court rules that tariffs are illegal, tariff payments are considered wrongly collected taxes, and they would have to be paid back, essentially. So Trump says it's life or death. Similar to what many are calling the New York situation. I guess we don't need to get into politics on the show, but I know you've been seeing a lot of swirl and things about the new mayor of New York. There's a lot happening in the world. It's just like a very crazy time in politics, I feel, and just in the world. It feels like we're on the verge of like a cleansing period, and we're going through a lot of tumultuous kind of road before we hit that path where we're supposed to be. So that's the kind of sentiment I feel. And this is interesting from Simon. My entire timeline is bearish, and the number of crypto investors I talk to are completely burned out or even giving up already is at levels I haven't seen since 2022. Meanwhile, fundamentals, institutional interest, and regulatory tailwinds are at all-time highs. Either we're looking at the most attractive max opportunity entries ever, or the market's dead. So, you know, you got to essentially, I'm placing my bet that the risk is to the upside right here. And as long as we hold that 50-week moving average, you know, we're not in a confirmed bear market. So that's just the bet that I'm making right now. And I feel that this is the relative strength. So this is the stock to flow from Plan B. You know, it's not extremely precisely accurate all the time, but it gives you an idea of the sentiment, right? The blues are just like down in the depths of the doldrum of the bear market lows. And those generally are coming after these like really red hot blow off top euphoric sentiment. And so we've just sort of been in this area for 2 years, bouncing between the RSI of 60 to 70, just consolidating here. So, you know, people were asking how low could this bull market go? Will be a 70% drawdown like previous ones? If we're just in a range like this, I don't see why we would need to go to such extremes to the downside either, and nor a catalyst to do so, right? But I'll let you comment on that, Rob, as well. But yeah, so people are skeptical that Trump's tariffs are illegal. So we've got this whole thing. It's just another day in crypto. Like, you know, the guy's running around on fire and we're like, no, don't worry, it's fine. There's a lot happening, and a lot depends on the traditional world, right? So the average home buyer has gone up to 40 years old now, and Americans are being priced out of real estate. Which is really interesting, why like they always show sort of the difference between how real estate has gone up in dollar value versus Bitcoin. It's gone exponentially down, right? And that's really, really telling for long-term investors. Another thing I'll say, the fear is manufactured. 30 bull market peak indicators tracked, 0 out of 30 triggered. The system that called the 2017 top and the one that called the 2021 top, right now it says we're at 50% progress. This is mid-cycle energy, not exit liquidity. I thought that was really interesting. I might go over these later, but this is like all stats on why the top isn't in, right? So the data says otherwise. And Rob has gone over that. He went over it yesterday on those 30 indicators from, I think, CoinMarketCap. And it just, none of them have triggered. None of them have fired off, right? So all of these indicators are just pointing not only to the fact that we haven't made those trigger, but also that we're nowhere near them, right? So for example, Bitcoin reserve risk, 42%. This shows how confident long-term holders are. At cycle peaks, old wallet sell and reserve risk explodes upward. Right now, it's flat near cycle lows. That means conviction is still strong. Coins are being sold, but far below historic top levels. So this is the Wall Street veteran that says basically that fundamentals are outpacing price, and that actually that we're just getting that redistribution from whales, which sort of goes against the data that we just looked at. But finally, I want to say this, okay? And this is what I think is really, really important, because Wall Street moves quietly before they move loudly. Accumulation first, euphoria later. They're still building infrastructure, not headlines. When it blows, it'll be too late to position. Patient capital always wins. And I think that's really powerful because, you know, in 2017, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, said absolutely none of their clients, I mean 0, were interested in crypto or Bitcoin, right? None. And that's crazy. And now fast forward to today, and it's their most profitable product. You could call BlackRock a Bitcoin company, guys. It's just absolutely wild, right? So I think that that's true. I think that they don't want this thing to blow off until they've built the rails fully, until the infrastructure is there, until they're ready for that euphoric top. So is there some sort of manipulation, price suppression? Probably, absolutely. There always has been manipulation, or whatever you want to call it, in the crypto market. As long as you learn to ride those waves and understand how the ebbs and flows work, you'll be okay, right? So guys, this is what I have as far as news for today. It really shook me up. I just like to zoom out and think long term and look at the bigger picture, because if you don't, you'll get sucked into the vacuum that is your timeline, right? And your emotions and what other people are saying and doing. So that's my take on the market. Rob, what are your thoughts?
I mean, markets go up, markets go down. Make a strategy and figure out how to make your digits go up in your bank account. That's my thing. But I always just keep off of what you were saying on manipulation. I always hear people sit there, like, they say the market is manipulated and they say it in a negative way. I find it, right. And you look at it, to me, to sit there and say it's manipulated in a negative way, I think is a bad way to look at it. It's manipulated in a way for a reason, probably, but it's also a way that we can make profits off of and to help grow our wealth. Number two, and me, I'm going to say, of course, the crypto market is manipulated because silver prices have been manipulated since before I was born. The biggest major banks in the world have always shorted silver to keep that price down low. So if they're doing that with silver, why the heck wouldn't they be doing that type of stuff with crypto? So for me, that kind of thought process, like, to sit there and to think that, hey, why wouldn't it be not manipulated? Like, that's just part of the game. Learn the game, learn the rules, learning risk management, learning that type of stuff. The big dumps that come in are going to give you another opportunity for something at some point here, as long as you're prepared for it and you manage your risk correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it is. You ride that wave of the manipulation, the price suppression, whatever it is, you're absolutely right about silver. Silver has been hammered and suppressed for such a long time, right? And they've actually like caught this and called this out. And it does happen. I will point out though that there's one interesting rumor swirling around about Wintermute. They're one of crypto's largest market makers, preparing to sue Binance over the whole liquidation event, because they say that the firm was auto deleveraged at completely ridiculous prices on Binance and other exchanges, and now is valued at legal auction. So it's interesting to think that maybe the quote unquote manipulator or the market makers, not in a negative fashion, but now have been manipulated themselves by the exchange. And there's a whole lot of things happening. And that could also explain why we're still, I mean, it takes a while to recover from an event like that for many, many different reasons. A lot of traders have been burned. In this case, an entire market making firm potentially has been extremely burned. So it's not out of the norm that we're consolidating and sort of like, we're not blasting off and V-shape recovering. That's not like a COVID dip, right? That's actual like huge liquidity wiped out of the market.
Yeah, I mean, the market was definitely over leveraged. Like, I'm a leverage trader. I'm all for leverage trading, but leverage trading it's trading. It's not holding long-term positions. I know. When I started doing research, I'm sitting there going, "How do people get wrecked on these on this liquidation event?" It was really boggling my mind a little bit. And then I just started realizing, I started reading like through a bunch of posts that people were holding low leverage for long term for the bull run. And you know what? And making money in the market, they don't make it that easy for you. It's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be like, oh, I can just buy something at 3x leverage or 5x leverage, hold it for 6 months and make $1 million. No, you're on a leverage position. They see that, and they're not going to, like, the manipulators aren't going to let that happen. They're going to take that out. They can see that way down there, and you watch it just happen. If you're going to hold something long term, it should be on spot, off of an exchange, on your cold wallet. In my opinion, I'm not a long-term holder myself. I'm more of a trader than anything, but I'll sit there. If I was a long-term holder, it wouldn't be on the exchange. I would have it make sure. I mean, that's what crypto was made for, was self-custody in the first place. So in that area right there, like that's just, it's kind of like, I think people should just, instead of blaming everything else, instead of pointing the finger, usually when you point the finger, there's 4 pointing back at you. Why not look at oneself and see what oneself did wrong? If you're sitting there holding leverage at 3x leverage and hoping just to ride that for the whole bull run, I think you should self-reflect and go, if I'm going to do that, maybe I should do that in spot, not on the exchange, not your keys, not your crypto.
Yeah, no, and even worse when it's leveraged, right? Because then you can be hunted versus holding even spot on an exchange, where then you're just subject to, if they go down or whatever it is, you've got an additional risk besides holding on the exchange. So I agree with you, and I know that there were a lot of like big crypto YouTubers that were just doing those kind of positions, 2 to 5x leverage, long term, right, to just maximize the exposure. And that's really not what leverage was meant to be used for in that way, or at least it feels at least not safely here in crypto, because we don't have insurance on things like that. And it just seems like greedy to me.
It doesn't, I mean, if you're using leverage, you need a stop loss no matter what. You need to have risk management no matter what, and you have to be prepared to lose it all of your money in on that spot position or that leverage position, and also also the coins, because you technically don't own any coins. You're doing contracts and bets.
Right. Yeah. So that's just like a little bit of recap of what happened, and now we're recovering from that. And I just, the narrative that speaks to me the most is what that one X post I just read about. Wall Street, they accumulate quietly in the background. And when you start to hear the boom and your grandma's calling your neighbor and people from high school, I don't know, all the stuff that happens is when it's usually too late, right? So if you're not taking advantage during this dip, then, I don't know, if you're going to be a long-term investor, you might be ending up chasing the next pump. So it's something to think about. Now that's different from trading, obviously, but I have been buying on this dip, and I will continue to buy on this dip as long as we're, maintaining structure. So trading is another thing. Today we're going to go over some altcoin gem pick bangers, but some of the entries have been nailing it, guys. Like, if you were following along on our YouTube, even if you're a long-term Ethereum investor, you could have bought Ethereum at 3K and been up 15% almost on your large cap coins, right? So there's a lot of value to be had here. And if you don't have money to buy the dip, go and do this is what I'm doing. Everything you humanly possibly can to be able to have that liquidity for these types of situations, right? For next time, maybe. So otherwise, you just tune in, play along, deposit, we've still got the deposit bonus till the end of this week. The link's in the description below for BYDFi. Sign up, deposit $100, you get free $50. Guys, it's a no-brainer. If you want to learn how to trade, take advantage of that. And also we've got the iTrust Capital crypto IRA thing running. So if you have an IRA on Robinhood or somewhere else, you can do a direct transfer, fund the account. You'll get $100 from them and $250 from us to trade. It's a very good package for you to start to get your feet wet and start preparing for your future. So that is happening until the end of this week. Maybe we'll extend it through the weekend, and that is it. And that deal is over. Okay, guys. So do go in and take advantage of that. And on that note, I think we'll just go over to the comments here. I think 798 Welder, shout out to you. It seems like you're huddling. You might be having a hard time at your job. Hopefully Rob's own testimony was motivational to you yesterday, as he's been through a lot of similar jobs and a lot of hard times and has traded his way all the way to the top, guys. And he's really good at what he does. So we've got one of the best mentors in this whole space for you to potentially make these life-changing gains and to change your life with these skills, right? Brian, you're not a nail expert, but I'm telling you, on Friday for Crypto and Cocktails, we're going to see what color I have. And potentially, I don't know, potentially that speaks to the rest of the market. I do believe we're going to have a bullish December if we're able to maintain our structure here. And there's a lot of catalysts and reasons for that. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated. Hey, what's up, Muneem? How you doing? Nice to have you stop by the stream. By the way, good words came out from Mr. Trump today. Yes, indeed. Trump is mega bullish. He's bullish. He's going to do whatever he possibly humanly can to make markets go up, to make crypto great, all the stuff, right? So Brian has 90 XRP. Okay, good. Just, some exposure, right? Some exposure to XRP, at least is one of the pillars of my portfolio, my long-term portfolio. Momo Army in the house. Okay. Is that a meme coin? What's up? 10,500 XRP. Nice. Okay. So you're not in a bad position there, 798 Welder. Market manipulation by ultra wealthy that own the country. They want our crypto. So you're talking about what are they called? What is that group of the elite called? I can't think of it, you guys.
The elite?
No, it's like a special group, like a conspiracy thing. But anyway, they want your crypto. They want to buy retail sphere. Absolutely. All the big smart money is accumulating here. We've seen it. We saw it. BlackRock bought $105 billion worth of Bitcoin at 105K. If you bought below that, you have a better entry than BlackRock on this dip, right? Like, come on. I don't know. Get the perspective. That's all I'm saying. Theo, theologian. I'm butchering that. Huge crash coming. Why do you believe so? Is that sentiment? Is that fear? What are your reasonings for thinking so? Please do share. Buy the dip, says Richard. Yeah, buy the dip. Rob is a hand from way back old. So I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you know Rob 798 Welder, or you're just relating to him because you've done the same work? Brian says, my daughter has those long nails. Well, go and see what color she has. I'm telling you, there's something in the air. It's the Beaver full moon today, by the way. I think the full moon is actually right now today. So we get the bull moon energy going on. Yeah. I think it's orange too, right?
It was really bright. I was looking at it this morning. I left for work. I was like, ooh.
Bitcoin orange, potentially. I don't know. No leverage. Yeah. You can use leverage to trade, but you get in a lot of issues when you start to do the things that they were doing, like on the 3 to 6 month to 9 month holds, right? Like Rob was saying. Illuminati. That's what I was looking for, Brian. Thank you so much. Is that who you believe is buying our Bitcoin? What do you guys think about the theory of the big whale holder distribution, selling their Bitcoin at profit? I think it might make sense to sell at a nice round psychological level, like 100K. I think that, there was no IPO. What do all those original holders do? How long will they hold if they're in billions in profit, right? Silver is the bank killer. It's all the bank killer.
Question is, if they're selling, what are they buying next?
That is actually, wow, Rob, you just took it to the next level. Yes, because in the video that I was going to play for you guys, he actually says that they're just redistributing their wealth, that then Bitcoin would no longer be a risk on asset. It would just be more of like a digital gold, right? So then that is the question. If they're going to take those profits and put them somewhere else that gets them a better yield, where are they going? Where are they going? I need the answer to this. What do you think, Rob?
Ethereum.
Boom. We should get Tom Lee on the podcast. That was like a mic drop moment right there. He'd be really proud of you. But Tom Lee says that, the fundamentals are behind the price, and that he still expects us to hit about 250K by end of year. And I forgot his Ethereum price. I think it was around 8K. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That's just what he said. But yeah, it could be. Could be. Ethereum is like the next big giant in the crypto space that they now get staking yield on. And it was very hated this bull run. A lot of people hated it and left it and bought Solana instead. Left it in the dust. Yes. Oh, and 798 Welder is just relating. Yeah. So hopefully Rob's story is inspirational to you. Keep plugging away. I know you're working hard, but you're doing the right thing by being here, by showing up, and by being interested in crypto. You're on the right side of history. That's what I can say. Cam, what's up? Clash fam in the house. What's up? Everyone in trades calls each other's Handelson. No, I'm butchering that. Maybe you know what he's talking about, Rob. They'll put it into Clash. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see. How about we get into
we go to Clash today as well too. It's up 20% from where we said enter at, by the way.
Oh, that's right. So if you're paying attention when we did the Clash, TA, man, you'd be sitting in profit right now. You've got to pay attention to these YouTubes, guys. And if you're not a trader, just get your feet wet. Sign up to BYDFi. Do that $100 deposit bonus. You get that $50 house money. Start learning. Start taking some action, right? Like you're getting free alpha on these videos and in the Hive Discord. Got to shout that out too. The link's in the description below. Do sign up to that. It's free access until the end of this week, and that's it. Okay, so we want you guys all to get in. You're the OGs and the real ones. Everyone else will come pouring in when the bull market starts to go full rage, and you will be well ahead of them. Okay, so Rob, on that note, let's have a look at the charts. So all of the profits of the big daddy whales in Bitcoin could be going to Ethereum. I like that thesis.
I mean, where else would you put it? I have no idea. Something that's going to give you more, make your digits go up in bank account. That's the only thing I think of. I'm like, what's going to make their digits go up? They're going to go for that. So,
no, I agree with you, and they get a yield on it now if they stake it. So it's the stakes are high. The stakes are high.
Yeah, I mean, staking's like so. I think if you read about Warren Buffett, he was always big on dividends. Buy something that gives you dividends. So staking's like it's not the same thing as dividends, but it's like dividends. You get something back. So why wouldn't whales go after dividends or staking?
Yes, absolutely. Cam is asking where can you follow Rob? So Rob is in the Discord on the Crypto Gents channel. That's where all his charts and trading are. You can also follow him on X, Unstoppable Bulls, right, Rob?
Yep. I might change my name at some point. I'm not sure yet. Haven't decided.
Yeah. For now, that's his X, but all the charts are being posted in the Hive Discord under Crypto Gents, which is their trading group. That's what it's called. So you can go and find all the setups in the Hive Discord, and the link is in the description below. So do take advantage of it. I can't say anymore. Not a thing. Yes, say that. Okay. All right. So let's just get into the charts into Ethereum and see where we're at.
All right. My chart pulled up yet? Yep. Okay. So looking at Ethereum right now, so we're still testing this trend line right here. We're moving beneath it, which last time we looked at it, we were retesting it, but we haven't broke beneath it yet. So we're still waiting for the candle close to see if we break beneath it. But we did pull fibs on it, and we said 0.5 Fibonacci level would be a good buy level, which is with the weekly SMA 50 as well too, which I didn't even know that till right now. But
Right.
We did retest that, and we are wicking up right now. So if we do close underneath it, we're going to have a long wick underneath it, and then we're going to be either looking for a bearish retest or a bear trap. So we can go ahead and delete all this right here so that we can see what I'm talking about. A lot of my charts I got to remake because I delete them all the time, and I remake them and just show things in different ways. But basically what we're going to be looking for is if we close here looking like this, that would be the bearish outcome of it, but that gives you time to put your stop losses and strong profits, and you get stopped out in profit no matter what. But if it goes up to here, then you're looking for a bullish retest and then go up. That's the bullish scenario, and that's pretty simple. This trend line is gonna hold or it's not gonna hold, or we're gonna trap on it. We're not gonna trap on it. But if you took an entry down on here, and we get up to there, all you got to do is just put your stop losses in some kind of profit and wait and see. And you don't have to do anything really for this trade setup as of right now. This is in the weekly time frame as well too. So we still got 4 days and 3 hours till this weekly candle closes. Now what we can do now is zoom in. We'll zoom into the 1 day time frame. Oh yeah, one more thing on the weekly. So the reason you can sit there and say that we might get a trap on here, if you look at our oscillators, right, the Stosh RSI, right now it is bottoming out. The RSI is about down to 45, so 44 I think is our bull market structure here. Let's go ahead and make sure of that. Let's go to 40. So right here, this is probably our bull market wavelength right here that we want to hold above 40 and 45. So right now we're
Right.
basically in that zone. So bull market ranges on their strength there is always a good thing. MACD, we did have the bearish crossover, but that can just be a light one, then kind of flip up over like this one right here. You have that flip down, then flip right back up. So that was this area right here. It doesn't mean it has to be into a bear market for that, but that is just calling that we are getting a retracement on it. And like I said, it just couldn't just cross over and not go underneath it. So no, nothing really that scary looking to me as of right now, unless we get that bearish retest. Then I can see if that bearish retest happens, why this is all the way up here, then I can sit there and say, all right, we got hit all inverse. Then we're gonna sit there and trade this the opposite way, and we'll short it.
Okay. I like the alt
So
inverse. It makes it really simple. I actually did that with some of the setups I was looking at today, and it does bring a lot of clarity.
oh yeah, it definitely does. It's definitely a good trick to use. It's like right now I'm helping my kids learn math, and it's like doing things backwards in math and double check your work almost. So it's a good way to double
Right.
check to make sure you're not being blinded one way or another.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so
So now we have a clear idea of what's happening with Ethereum. Yeah, this is another chart I was really interested in looking at, USDT dominance.
yep. So the other week we did this on the channel here, and what I was kind of looking at before was a potential like ascending triangle type thing, and the best time to buy is going to be along this trend line right here, which this is the inverse chart. So we want this to whenever the USDT to dominance, you want this to break down. That means money is coming out of USDT coming out of stable coins into alts and Bitcoin. So we want this to go downward. So we're looking at in an inverse way, and a lot of people will see bullish patterns easier than they will bearish patterns. So we're actually looking for a bullish pattern this for the on the inverse wise to make it look bullish for the market. So if for me, I love ascending triangles. See, now it confuses me. I gotta sit there and pull up a different one. Well, not
Yeah,
long.
remember this is inverse chart. That's why it looks bullish.
Yep. So
Mhm.
I love to long on bottom trend lines of ascending triangles. So I look at it as a trade setup basically. I want to be buying along this trend line right here as long as it holds. Then if it doesn't hold and bearishly retest it, then I know to leave a trade. And it's a very low risk trade. It's a very better risk for your risk to reward for you to buy down in here. Then once it gets up to this upper trend line area, you will be able to move your stop losses and strong profits, or you can sit there and look to start taking profits. But I would suggest if it breaks out, just move your stop losses in profits, and you can kind of go from there. So this is typically the best buy zone. Now I'm going to go back to normal way. It's a descending triangle, and we want that to break down. And what kind of level would we be looking at if it does get a full move? We're going to take the measured move. I'm usually go from the open end, but let's not be too greedy. Let's go from the middle of the pattern to make a smaller measured move. And we're going to put that right about here. Wow, I did that kind of too perfect.
Yeah.
So we're looking right about here with that move. That's 1.98%. So that would be a pretty massive move for stables going into crypto if that does happen. Now, if it does break the opposite way, then of course we have to trade the opposite way. Pretty simple, but the trend is your friend until the end. So we just need this trend to keep on continuing to the downside.
Right. And potentially more confluence. I like that it's at the top right now of this trend line of the descending triangle, because that's potentially the best time to buy altcoins as a whole, or Bitcoin, or whatever you're focused on, right? If this trend line is going to hold up and it ends up breaking down.
Yep, that's what we want for that. I also think I have another chart of that as well too. Let me look real quick. Yield. I have another view with it with Bitcoin. Yep, you see. So yeah, so that measure move, I already had that put up on here as well too. For some reason I made it in a line chart at that point. Let's go ahead back to candles. But with that as well too, we were looking at this measure move right here. I took on here. If it's down in this area, that 1%, that was the last bull market top as well too, cycle top. So that measure move, it mixes right the same percentage level that we had a cycle top. So that is also a cycle top indicator as well too. That that level here, which we never hit on USD.T. So another way of looking at it.
Right. Yeah. A lot of confluence still. I mean, it's interesting to see, and especially like if you're buying for long term and stuff, risk is the upside if you're really long term holder or like macro investor, definitely, and potentially for the rest as well if we maintain that structure.
Yep. All right. So what charts we're gonna look at some altcoins, right?
Yeah, let's get to the altcoin stuff, guys. If you're like distracted right now, like get your notepad out or whatever you need to do to take notes. Like watch this like a hawk because all these setups have been playing out. You can make money with your deposit that you're gonna put on BYDFi and learn how to do this. And I'm gonna continue to insist that you get these skills because it's just been incredible the hit rate that we've had. Rob's been nailing it, even in these very difficult market conditions. And when these market conditions change and the trend flips bullish, it is like a whole nother world. Okay. It's not even like this. This is difficult. These are difficult conditions. So Almaneem, you're an OG, man. You've been around since 2017 stacking those XRPs. Did you buy any during the COVID dip? I think it was like down to like 15 cents or something like that. Yeah, that was an incredible buy. But long time ago, yes. Clash is resilient. You're resilient, Cypherium, because you're here in the chat. 798 Wilder, are you from Digital Dave's group, Crazy for Cryptos? Because I haven't heard anybody talk about Digibyte besides him. And I actually do hold a bag just in case, I mean, Digibyte, it's still proof of work and it's very secure and it's getting really fast. They just launched their like stablecoin dollar, Digibyte dollar, right? So I've got a bag. You never know. You never know. But yeah, that makes me curious as to whether you're from his group. Clifton has his cliff notes. Oh, I like that. Ready for Clash? Maybe. But you got to take note on this one. ZK, guys. This is the 4x banger, potentially 10x banger that we're going to show you, okay? But we're going to show you the interim moves, but that's what we were like sort of looking at. This one looks like it could do a pretty wild ride. So yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, so ZK, we already in this group, we talked about this on previous, we had it posted in group. We actually posted it way down here. So you can have a house money bag right now. We went up 150% already, but it doesn't look like it's finished to me. Like when I zoomed out on it today and I looked at it, if we break this fib level right here, that's whenever you start getting the big fast moves. And I'm looking at this volume right here. The volume is not fading very much on it. We are getting rejected, it looks like right now, which is awesome for everybody else because we might be getting a pullback buy, and awesome for me too because I only have a house money bag too. And if we get a pullback, I might be adding back to that bag. But what we're kind of looking at right now is if we break above this level, we're going to start going into the Fibonacci retracement levels. And typically you want to aim for the 786 Fibonacci. And that's about 2x right there. But we start getting above that, we're going to be going into price discovery. And we can be completely, the full fib extensions that I have right now, it's a 1000% move if we break out from this level with zero pullback buys. If you're in it from the group, which we got in somewhere in this area, can't remember exactly when, that's going to be a 2000% move from that area. But now what we're going to be looking for is if we get rejected here, we're going to have to zoom in a little bit, which I'm going to look at now and see what it looks like. We're going to look at the 4-hour chart, and first thing I see, let's go ahead and delete all this.
Okay, this is a really important part of the stream, guys. Really pay attention to this because this is how you find entries and things, and you can apply this to all the coins that you're looking at potentially, right? So, yeah, make sure you're paying attention.
Yep. So right now, what we're looking at is the oscillators in the 4-hour time frame are exhausted. We also got bearish divergence popping up. So that means that one, you could short scalp it if you want to. I might, who knows? I don't know yet. But also, too, that's telling you do not try to front run the breakout just yet. You might as well wait to see if we break out to buy. But if not, we're going to probably get some sort of retracement. And the retracement we're probably going to have to use is from this low to this high. And that one there, it's kind of bumpy there. So I would rather go into the 1-hour time frame at this point. We can pull this retracement right up to here. And we could be looking for this to get back. If a full retracement would be 5.5 cents or so, 5.3. So this 786 Fibonacci retracement. Let's look at our oscillators in the 1-hour time frame. They're already basically rolled over, which is awesome. The white line here is my 1-hour SMA 9, and we're moving beneath it. So we get underneath that, and we bearishly retest it. We make a local top up here. That's going to give us our. That's basically going to give us our time to sit there and set alerts on our 1 hour 9. So say we only get down this far to 618 and then we close above it, we know to take entry on it. So we might be getting a decent pullback from here in order to get a new long entry, which could be anywhere from 28%, 37%, 22% pullback before we get to go break out in that level. And what that basically means is we're cooling off a little bit. We're going to go down here to gang up our power to break out of our breakout zone for the massive move on potential ZK, which if you guys don't know, is a privacy token that's getting a lot of hype on it. It seems like we're in some kind of privacy run right now. So that is something to just make sure that you keep an eye on.
Right. No, this is a banger, guys. And yeah, now we have time to accumulate potentially as it's closing below that 1 hour 9. So yeah, we're going to be posting this one in the Discord. So that's massive potential, and you don't have to force the trade now. It's potentially coming to you. Man, let's be on your guard, stay on alert, pay attention to the Discord, because this one is not one to miss. And I'm just going to call you Welder. Okay. Welder says 260,000. Wow. That's a lot of Digibyte. Jared Tate is cool. Yeah, okay. Dave is okay. You're just an independent blue-collar investor that hodls. I like it. I like it. You do your due diligence. That's what you got to do, guys. That's what you got to do. Yeah, and we got the Clash fam coming in full force now. 20% on the day. Yeah, Clash has had a nice run today for sure. But yeah, back to ZK, guys. Do pay attention to this one because we're coming up to some potentially really good entry points here.
Yep. So as I'm looking at it right now, you can sit there and say those Fibonacci levels, I line them up with bullish order blocks as well too. So they're right with bullish order blocks. And if you don't have time to watch the 786 Fibonacci retracement level, I might stack some limit buys at 5 cents, like 5 cents and a little bit under, like 4.99, 4.9 or something like that. And I might place some limit buys there because if it gets down there while I'm sleeping, I might miss my alerts because I might sleep through it. I don't know. So for me, I'm gonna have to just do some limit buys potentially tonight.
Right. So this is a long-term, this is a spot bag, right? But for those who want to look to leverage trade this setup, what would you suggest?
You're gonna have to set alerts on it. And then once you get down in those once you get down to that level in those in that time frame, you're gonna have to sit there and look for so if you look over here when we're going down, I think I called this pullback last time when we hit it, which I did call that one. We hit the 0.618 fib and we got down to that level here. Then we closed above the 1 day hour 9. That would be your best, the safest entry. Then you could basically ride that up to your next take profit. So you basically want to sit there and set your alerts on it. And then you want to wait for some confirmation for a close. Unless, let's see here, we'll go into replay mode real quick. So say you're going to sit there and try scalping it long or getting a good long entry position on it. This is where you would probably want to zoom into like the 15. Once you get close to your buy zones, I don't watch it, but I set alerts on it. And once you get close is whenever you start watching it, only for that time frame. You go into the 15-minute. Then right there, that would have been your buy right there, basically. So you see that how that went up right there. You had a bullish fair value gap. You would sit there and start putting buys right in down in there. Then you can put your stop losses right underneath there. With a lower leverage position, that course. And then it goes straight up. But also two other signals right there. You'd have buy signals on your oscillators, and you'll probably have buy signals on your oscillators as well too in the 1 hour time frame at that time. So you have multiple from 1 hour to 15-minute. You would have all buy signals on all those time frames. And I could just sit there and make sure they all look that way in real time.
Yeah, lots of volume there.
Yep, volume is a very big key indicator. So you can sit there and see how this is going flat. You have your Stosh RSI going flat, RSI down to 30, starting to curve up. Let's keep on going play by play. Then you also broke above the 1 day 9. You got that bullish crossover right there. Boom. And that's just whenever that all happens. You got the volume picking up. You have all those signals. And you had to, if you were in the 15-minute chart before that, you would have been able to front all that, and your entry probably would have been right around 4.8. And then you'll just let it run until you could sit there. You could put Fibonacci levels on it after that. That's not Fibonacci. That's something else. So you'll just sit there and go like that. for your take level profits, and you can sit there, move up your falling stop losses, and sit there, look to take profits around the 786 or have tighter stops and let it run until stop loss hits, or you hit a higher high, which typically, if you're leverage trading, once you get into a higher high, you want to start taking profits.
Right. No, yeah, this is gold, you guys, and yeah, this is a ZK USDT cam. So yeah, this setup is going to be posted in Discord, and yeah, he did say 1,000x possible returns.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that just could run very well.
Right, right. So 5 to 7 cents to 50 cents. I'm not sure what the end price was that we marked there, but yeah, this setup is going to be in the Discord, guys. So hop in there, go and check it out, and do sign up to BYDFi if you want to support, the efforts of the Discord that we're allowing for free right now at the time being, and also Rob's charting and his team. And then you get a nice juicy deposit bonus, right? So this one is on BYDFi as well. So yeah, we're looking to get our entry on it, and let's see what happens. I'm setting those limit buy orders as well.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to do that, or else you're going to miss the trade. I've learned that one after a long time. I can't sit and babysit the charts all day long.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, Clash fam, it's your lucky day. So please do share, like, and subscribe. Let the other Clash clan know what's going on here. But yeah, it seemed like we had a pretty decent pump today out of Clash.
That we did. So last time we talked about it, or last two times we talked about it, we just talked about when we were up here, coming back down and doing the full Fibonacci retracement, which we basically got the whole thing. We got down underneath the 702. We almost kissed the 786. Didn't quite get that far, but close enough to where if you started scaling in this area, you had a good dollar cost average right around here. And it's up 40. It went up 40% so far from that one here. Now we broke the trend line that we had drawn on here. We'd followed this trend line the whole time, and now we're retesting it. We come back down and retest this level, which is like the 0618. That might be our next entry on here. We're a little bit higher. So after that, we can sit there and start looking to take profits. And we made a potential higher low right here, which we talked about last time. Let's go ahead and delete the chart now, and you got to start from scratch now. So now what we're basically looking for, there's a lot of little, since this is a newer meme coin, a lot of little wicks on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those wicks and just go like that, just to make it look a little easier here.
Nice.
All right, we're going to go trend line right there, and we're going to make a new. Now, with all that happening all at the same time, I sit there and say this is a potential strong pivot area that we got here, since then we had that fib retracement. Let's go ahead and go to the 4-hour time frame and just look. Yeah, it looks like we got a pretty good pivot right here. So we can start making this right here. So how high are we going to go next? What can our take profit be if this trend line holds, of course? And if not, you should be stopped out at a pretty decent price. Or if you got that entry, you probably could put your stops close to break even now. Let's go ahead and go like this here. So we're going to do a fib from here to here. Then I'm going to go like this. And we're going to use this right here. I'm going to do 2 different ways of this. Nice. So say we can break out right in this area here. We are going to be looking for that for a price level. Then we can also do another one, go from open end to open end, which is right here to here. 90%. So this is telling me that we can either get up to this Fibonacci at 12 cents or between 10 and 12 cents is what I'll be looking for a measured move on this one. They basically they get close to the Fibonacci levels as well too. The lowest Fibonacci level I'll be looking for is 9 cents. So we're looking for a pretty good move out of that, but we need to break this trend line first. I think worst case scenario would be 6 cents from this zone. As long as we hold this zone right here, the worst case scenario would be 6 cents. So you're looking anywhere from this area, you're looking at a 50% all the way up to a 210% gain.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Now you know your entry, Clash fam. We're going to share this on X2. So do retweet and like it, and let the Clash fam know that we're doing this TA. But because it's looking like a strong coin right now. So
yeah, looks very good. The only thing I would like to see is a little bit more volume in it. If that volume does spike up, you might not want to use the measure moves. You might be able to, like, it's going to, since it's a meme coin, if it starts getting crazy volume, you go for full Fibonacci levels on it, which is 344%, but we need that volume to kick up. So be looking for volume. If volume if volume starts kicking up, you can aim higher. If volume doesn't kick up, aim lower is the way I kind of look at it. Volume is a very key indicator to look for to see what we got looking at.
I like that. That's a very good like rule of thumb to go by, right?
Yep.
Let volume be your guide. I like that a lot, you guys. So you're getting a lot of trading tips as well, not just the setups, but how to analyze them and how to optimize. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big love from yeah.
Yeah, nothing's I sit there and it's like, oh, because I said this or because of this or whatever reason. It's more of, all right, this is what the chart says. Now, what are the indicators? What's the volume telling us as the trade's playing out? Like if it starts going up like this and the volume is dying down, that's like, all right, the buyers are getting exhausted. It's probably not going to make it as high as we want it to. We might as well move our stop losses up or something, take some profits or make it a house money bag, do something so that way you're not risking everything.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so, Rob did say he likes to, well, this is not an ascending triangle, but on the bottom of the trend line, right?
Yep.
So potentially we're gonna hit right back down there, and that could be a very good entry on Clash, guys. So I'll be looking to take that as well. I'll be keeping an eye on that. And a big love from India. It's late in India. We got a very international audience here. It's 10:30 in Spain, so I think it's like a couple hours after that, midnight or 1 year time. So welcome to the show. He says he got up for a glass of water and couldn't resist. We love to have you here. Lots of love to all you guys. Who Clash Smurf. Can you guys also check the momentum on one of the coins? Yeah, so we will do a lot of charting. I'm not sure what your name is, but love from India. Sign up to the Discord. The link's in the description below, and you'll see some of those charts that we've been looking at. So we've also been looking at Aster, right?
Yep.
We have been looking at that because that is, of course, Binance's version of Hyperliquid, which has been crushing it this cycle. And, perp dexes are all the rage, and Binance wants a piece of that. CZ is trying to pump those bags. He's coming out and saying he's buying. So that's one to keep an eye on as well, simply because the biggest behemoth in the whole space is promoting it, right? So let's have a look at where we're at now.
All right. So the chart's not exactly the cleanest looking chart right now. This big candle right here was whenever CZ said he was buying, then it just dumped right back down. So we're looking to see if we can build support in here right now. One thing I'm looking for, this is very simple one here, is the break of the 1-day 9 to see if we can break and hold it. Our indicators, though, it's still new, but we're not pointing up right now, but we'd have the bullish crossover down here, and we're just getting rejected off the 50. So it's very in between. So we can't really use those in the 1-day time frame. But we can see how the 1-day 9, once we broke underneath it here, it's been a straight downfall. And then we have been playing basically dancing queen on it now we're going sideways. So now that we're going sideways, we can sit there and speculate that we are in accumulation for this token. And that's basically right where CZ said he bought at. So I don't think people know that CZ bought right here at 90 cents. I don't think people want to keep selling right here because they know that's where his entry's at. So why sell where he bought? I'm guessing what people were thinking. So now
I'm willing to bet it's not the end of his buying either, right? So yeah.
Yeah, who knows? But I just go off what he said. But now what we're basically looking at is, are we potentially just entering some sort of accumulation zone in this area until we get a break? And the longer this is going to go like this, I mean, it might not be straight up and downs like that. It might be like little wick, blah, 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 like that little wick, then something like that. And then we finally take off. But if we go sideways with that for a good amount of time, the longer that takes, the bigger the move will probably be to the upside. So that's accumulation. That's a good thing. It's just, if it does come down here, those are going to be your best entry zones, most likely for spot until we accumulate and break to the upside and potentially get a massive move. Let's go ahead and see what the oscillators look like in this time frame. We're on the 4-hour. And it looks like the 4-hour oscillators are calling pretty decent local lows, if you ask me.
Right.
So if we get down to that bottom trend line, you have the oscillators at a local low. Like that one there, that one there. That could be your buy signals. Now, those are like, if it goes up higher and this level does hold and it goes up higher and breaks out and retest, and on the retest it kind of gets down this area, then you have to buy high and sell higher. It just depends on where the chart's at the time. But right now, so it's just kind of looking at those right there and to see if this accumulation happens, basically. Other than that, I think the chart looks really good. How high could it potentially go? I mean, the only way to tell is going to be Fibonacci levels, really, for speculating. Let's go back to the 1-day chart, which if this is the local low and we go into accumulation, this wouldn't change at all. We will be putting fib charts on it. Once it's done accumulating, we will be looking at potential up to $7.50 or so.
Not bad, not bad at all. So 6 to 7x gain, depending on where you get in. I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good, and it's going to be pumped by Binance. It's like, so I think that's an important factor to think about. All the biggest market makers, a lot of resources, that could be a catalyst for it going higher.
Yep. And then the other thing I'll look for is if we start like getting bull flags and going to the upside, is it for making some kind of cup like that as well too? So usually on a cup, what you have is you have your downside. You have your downside, you go sideways in accumulation, then you go up your upside, your bull flags, and then you get your breakout. And that's after your breakout, your breakout's going to be up above this level here, which is $1.31. The breakout is $2.31. That's going to give you your explosive moves, your impulse. Well, everybody loves the impulse moves, the fastest moves, the ones that get you. Oh, I can't! I'm going to the moon. I can't believe how fast this is going. I'm making tons of money. That's where people will get excited. Is up in here, not down in here.
Right. No, really interesting. I mean, it's looking good. The rounded bottoms, they're starting to form. It looks like we're at the bottom of the rounded bottom. It could be. So this is very, very interesting times indeed, guys. Cam, Vegas will be sick in December. Big shout out to Meg for supporting, and Rob. Yeah, did we talk about that on this stream? Did we talk about, so our team might potentially be in Vegas that first weekend, seeing what we can put together. And yeah, that could be really, really sick. Meetup point, potential masterclass. I don't know. We're thinking about a lot of things, guys. So stay tuned for that. And Welder, I'm going to call you Welder, the T-Fuel booster node. So I don't think Rob knows about the Theta ecosystem, but I have been in Theta for a very long time. I do stake to a couple Guardian nodes, and I then just hold some without staking. And I was staking T-Fuel, but then, I couldn't stake it anymore where I was. I have not done the booster node, but Dave from Digital Dave's community says that it's given some pretty good yield. So if you're bullish on Theta and T-Fuel, I mean, yeah, why not, right? Passive income is hard because, like the passive income depends on the price of the token being stable and going up, right? Because that's not a thing if it's going down and then your original entry is down. So, but like potentially at these levels, if you're buying in, we could be like at the bottom of this move. I truly think that, bull markets don't end with altcoins on the floor. So I think we've got some room to run, but that's the problem with thinking about it as passive income when your initial is going down below where you bought it, right? So that's just food for thought. But yeah. I mean, staking, I stake a lot of my long-term holds. So yeah, why not accumulate more of that token that you're bullish on for the future? That's what I say about that. Oh, and we're pulling up Theta. Okay, this is going to be our last chart for today, guys, but a bonus chart. So if there's anybody in the Theta community in this chat, which I know there are, let us know you're here because, lots of love to you. I know Theta's been having a tough time at these levels. People are, but it's still on its ground floor entry level, right? I mean, from the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, what I was looking at earlier today, I was looking at a potential leverage position, but I haven't got my confluence just yet. I want to open up leverage on it. I haven't posted it in yet in group, but we got 4-hour bullish divergence right here. So that's something I was looking at, and I'm seeing if that bullish divergence could take play. We break above this level, we get some volume, and I might be doing a leverage play on it. But yeah, looking in the 1 week time frame, like everything to me in the 1 week time frame, we're definitely going to be going up at some point here. So looking 1 week, where'd it go? There we go. So 1 week right here. I mean, these oscillators are down to 30. The Stosh is at 2. Is that negative?
Super low. Yeah, super low.
Let me pull that up bigger. So, I mean, this is typically it's at 0.27. So, I mean, you can't go lower than this really on the oscillator. So when this oscillator at some point will be up here. Like that's just how oscillators work. So that means basically if you're as this is going right here, and as if you're waiting for the break of the 1 day 9 or 12-hour 9 to take entry, the probability of this going up here and you being in profits when this is up here is a lot better than buying when this is up here, in my opinion.
All right. So Theta
I mean,
Fam, potentially a good entry coming up. And that lever position that you said, what would be the conditions that you want to see in order to get into a setup like that?
I mean, I like the volume. I like the bullish divergence. We did break the 4-hour 9. What I'm not liking is the lack of volume right now. I want to see a little bit more spike of volume in it. I'm just not seeing the volume say, "Hey, look at me right now." Like when I even zoom into the 5-minute charts, I don't really see anything that's making me want to sit there and say, "All right, do a leverage trade on it right now." It's telling me just to wait for it, wait for some more volume confirmation. There's no eyes on it right now, which typically, if it starts getting a little bit higher lows too. So we get above here, we come back down, and we make a higher low. That would be my other condition. So
Right.
if we start
All
printing
right.
higher lows, and if we don't print higher lows, and if we print higher lows and there's barely any volume on it, sometimes that's your signal that big money's trying to creep in slowly without letting anybody know, so the price doesn't pump before they get their bags packed. So those are two
Oh,
kind of signals that I kind of look for. I want to see those higher lows, or basically you look at them like tiptoeing in. That's how I kind of look at it. I'm not sure if you can't see my hand gestures or not,
I
but
saw it. I saw it. And that's a really good sort of visual or thought, you guys. Like more alpha from Rob. So tricks on what to look for when you want to see something start to take off in a big way, right? I think that's really cool. We got one Theta fan in the audience. Chart. Go Theta. I know there's more of you. We're going to be posting this on X as well, because Rob potentially becoming a believer at these levels.
I like the more red, it's easier for me to buy, because I think that's usually the better buy, because usually people don't buy when they're like, "Oh, I wish I would have bought back there," and they never do, which never makes sense to me. If you wish for something to happen and it happens, you don't do it, then I don't know.
Right. No, absolutely. So very cool. Very cool. I mean, we gave you some killer setups today. We got ZK,
Yeah, so
right?
on ZK right here, when this kind of went up right here, this is what tiptoeing I'm talking about. So it kind of went up here, then came back down right in here. You can sit there and see this is a higher low right here, and that was telling you that money is buying higher. They're tiptoeing in, and right there, as soon as it broke, it kind of broke out right there, retested, then kind of zoomed back up. So you look for things like that. Those are very big signs. That means people are willing to buy at a higher price, or the same people are buying at a higher price because they didn't get their bags all the way filled when it went up to here, and they were trying to buy some red or something. So you're always looking for stuff like that. That's always like this little hints that you're looking for when the chart's talking to you or speaking to you.
Yeah, interesting. Those are some really valuable tips, guys, for when you're looking to get into positions down at these lower levels. That's right, Wilder. Thaden's hodl the line. I like it. I like it a lot. So, so yeah, I don't know. What do you say? Do you have any last things you want to go over? Last words, Rob, before we wrap this up?
Just be ready for what's to come. I mean, we have a full moon, which is typically marks on average the local low at least. We got weekly buy signals coming in, which happens twice a
Ooh.
year. If you're bearish now, then you're going to be bullish when it's a super green, and you're probably going to buy local tops. So figure out a way to reverse that mentality. Hello. I think we lost her.
Sorry. Okay. Am I back?
Are you back?
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I just had a freeze moment right when Rob was like doing his mic drop moment. So I'm back now. So I don't know if you guys got that, then great. Sorry I tuned out for a minute, but yeah. So be ready for what's to come. Very low level entries, like ground floor entries potentially. And we gave you some new setups on today. Pay attention, set those alerts, and get ready. Get ready. Take notes. Watch this video like 3, 4, 5 times. I don't know. Rewind it, replay it, like everything. All you need to know on how to get these entries. It's like this is like definitely a masterclass. We won't be doing these lives every day, Monday through Friday, very much longer. This might be the last week, and then we might go down to 2 or 3 lives. So yeah, take advantage, guys. And we've been loving doing this and having y'all here supporting these initiatives. And we hope to see you in the Hive Discord. Take action. That's what I will say. And on that note,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
it.
yeah. One more thing I forgot to mention. I was going to talk about SOL today as well too. We hit our buy
Okay.
signal at 150. So maybe tomorrow I'll talk about more entries on it, or I'll post it in group, more entry ideas on it. Yeah, I'll do that, post it in group. But we did yesterday, we talked about SOL, about entering around 150. And last week when we did a full SOL video about when this being down here and looking for $150 buy entries on this bullish order block, we hit it. And we have tweezer bottoms on the candlestick patterns. So tweezer bottoms like this right here typically is a reversal signal. So right on the cue, right in our buy zone. Perfect. And if you did put a buy down there, limit buy about 150, anywhere in that area, you're in profits.
Oh, yeah. I love those tweezer bottoms. Just one last bit of alpha for you guys before we sign off. You're lucky because that's really interesting. We nailed that entry as well on top of Ethereum. So things are looking different. They're looking like, a little bit more bullish now, especially at these levels. So I like that tweezer bottom idea. And yeah, nailed that entry, guys. So potentially you're going to nail some more if you take action after this stream. And Rob will be following up with that in the Discord on Sol. So yeah, on that note, I think we're going to sign off. But it's been real fun, an amazing Wednesday. And we will be back for more tomorrow on Thursday. And don't forget, Friday, we're going to do our crypto and cocktails edition. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So tune in and have a great rest of your day, evening, or morning, wherever you're at in the world. And we'll see you tomorrow.